A Sankarshan Joshi trip.
Like with my experience of working with you and my experience of working with other directors, so one thing that I have learned is acting is not you acting, it is you reacting to something, a certain emotion or a certain dialogue that the other co-actor has just quoted, or it is just reacting, right? And also, like I kept thinking that even if you reflect back the same philosophy into real life, that is exactly what we are all doing in life. Like we are just reacting to things, we are just reacting. And also, like philosophically and spiritually, when you see, it is very important. Our whole like life course is dependent on how we react to things. So yeah, like there is a the definition, right? Like I think that actors, like they like every single actor like has their own definition of acting, and every time they perform they try to justify that definition, like have they fulfilled that definition or no. So like how much of the personal definition of acting is important, and how much of like a general definition of acting is.
Okay, I mean, this is every actor has their own definition, honestly,
Yeah.
right? For some people, is just for some this I met a course of actor. I mean, way like varieties of actors along the way. Some people like the after effects than the performance, right? So that
Okay.
definition for them always changes. For
Hmm.
some people, it's like honestly for me, when I started, it was because I could play something. It
Hmm.
was like a sport. You can play. Like for example, when you're playing cricket and you're always losing, it's not fun,
Yeah.
right? But if you like the sport and you like the sound of the ball hitting the bat or the ball hitting the stumps, all those
Yeah.
sounds, if you like them, you'll still play,
Yeah.
even if you lose every match,
Yeah. It
right?
doesn't
For
matter.
me,
Yeah.
yeah, acting was like that. It was not about having a standing ovation or
Hmm.
having people come up to me and go like, "Oh, you're an amazing actor," oh, blah blah blah. It was always about the fact that while on stage, the silence,
Hmm.
people watching you, all you can hear is breaths, like people
Hmm.
actually like
Yeah.
breathing in that silence, and you can hear the footsteps of your shoes on stage. All those little moments is what acting is for me.
Oh
Is
yeah.
what theater is for me specifically. Right? For me, acting is basically at that moment when my co-actor or co-actress or whoever an object is in front of me, that feeling I get from that particular bounce is what acting is for me. And I
Yeah.
believe, and this is my definition, I believe that acting is figuring out yourself throughout the process of life.
Hmm.
Like how
Yeah.
people
Well
do
said.
art and they figure out things or do anything, like, they work. Like
Yeah.
it's very normal. Like if I had to give like a general response, people do engineering, then they
Hmm.
figure out what to do, right? And they go get a job. And they figure out, okay, fine, I don't like if I like technology or management. If they're management, then they go to MBA, technology, then MS, or they keep working, whatever. Right? Throughout their life, they're just figuring out things.
Yeah.
Now, even like that, for me, acting is basically that. Like, if you give
Hmm.
me a situation, I have no idea how I'll respond because I can just tell you how I might respond. But if you put me in a scene, then I would have to bring out something. I'll be like, huh, this is something
Yeah.
that I would do. And you figure out, I'm figuring myself out. That for me, that's my definition of acting. I mean, for you, obviously, it'll be different.
Yeah.
For the next person, it'll be different. So I don't think you can make a general statement of acting.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there are definitions,
Yeah.
like
I
to
think so
be
too.
in
Yeah.
the process to act and all that.
Yeah.
But I don't think there should be a general definition.
Yeah. I think so too. Yeah. Yeah. And also,
So
like
tell
when
me,
it comes to
what's your definition?
uh my definition of acting, like I said, like is just reacting to things. Like that is my definition of acting. And so every time I perform on stage, uh, or like I haven't done a lot of short films, but like if at all in future, if I work on any short film or any, so this is what I will be consciously saying myself. So sometimes when you're on stage or in front of camera, the only thing that is going on in our mind is what line am I going to say next? Am I moving from point A to point B? Like, how will I be moving? Like, what am I doing? So, when the other person is saying dialogue, if I'm sad, how should I cry? Like, so I am more, so I am in my head. So I think that that is not how it should be. You should be, you should be conscious about the surrounding and your co-actor. And if at all they say any dialogue, your reaction is crying, like your reaction is tears. So if you if it doesn't naturally flow, like if the tears don't naturally come, that means that there is no point of you crying there.
Hmm.
So so that is how I think about going around acting. And so far, every time, like I've seen few plays in Rangashankara, and if I think that a play nailed their character, if I loved their performance, and if I go back to all the performances that I have seen, even Adam Driver's in Marriage Story, the reaction is on point. Like sometimes even if you have to go loud, like if you have to deliver a dialogue at a high pitch, you cannot go there without your co-actor bouncing the energy back, right? So like even if you scream, the audience will be taken aback. Like it will be like, okay, that was very unnecessary, or I don't think that that is naturally flown. So yeah, like that is how I see any movie, or that is how I see things.